Once you log into your account, to create a list from your dashboard, just click on Lists, or you can go to the left side menu and click on Lists from that menu. Once you're on the Lists screen, to create a brand new list, go up to the Create New button. There you'll be faced with the list information you need to type in. Anything that is required will have the red asterisk next to it. Just type in what you want each of these to be defaulted to. You must have a name for your list, and you must have a description for your list. The description is something just for you, or if you have the option for people to sign up to multiple lists on your website, there may be a way to show them the description of the list there. So I'll just put test for both of those. If you want the display name to be different than the actual back-end name that you see, you can add a display name here. These defaults are from your account. They will be automatically pulled in, but you can change them for each list. These are also defaults that are set from the system level. We typically require double opt-in for each list, but you can change that to single opt-in if you want your subscribers not to be faced with a confirmation email when they sign up. Likewise, for opt-out, we default to single opt-out, but you can actually double opt-out if you'd like. This will be a way to ask your subscribers if they're sure they want to unsubscribe. We, of course, recommend keeping both at single opt-in and single opt-out. Welcome email is the email that they get when they've signed up. Most of the time, the easiest way to do this is instead of sending a welcome email and scheduling it from here, which will generate an email based on the page called welcome email, is to build an autoresponder that gets sent out immediately upon subscribe. This is more typical of how other systems operate. So we like to leave this at no and then create that autoresponder after we've built the list. These options are, of course, optional, and they will allow you to redirect people if they are not subscribed. This is a very specific use case you don't need to worry about, most likely. Likewise with sub exists. If somebody already exists on that list, you can redirect them to a certain page that says, hey, you're already on the list. And then subscriber requires approval just means if you want to actually manually verify certain people when they sign up to your list. Lastly, over here on the top, the subject, this is just the default. So if you change this to something like testing, whenever you create a new campaign or autoresponder, this will be filled into the subject line. I like to leave it blank because I'm going to put a subject line anyway for each newsletter. There's no reason to make the same one every single time. Scrolling down a little bit, for the list options, you can actually set up notifications that go to anywhere you want. If you want to learn when somebody subscribes to your list, you can click yes, and then you can add in a single or multiple email addresses separated by comma. So if you want to send 3 people on your team an email every time somebody signs up, this is where you can do that. At the bottom here, the subscriber actions are a really cool feature that you can use to handle some back-end automation with Author Email. For example, if you've got multiple lists and you want to move somebody from one list to another, you can actually choose when they sign up to the list you're building now to unsubscribe them from another list. Or you can subscribe them to another list and keep them on the list you're building now. So this is just a way, like I said, to automate some of the more advanced features. And you don't have to do any scripting. It's all just right here. There's some logic-based things you can set up. And the last thing on this page, I should say the second to last thing on this page is the company details, which you'll notice are going to be pulled from your account. So when you go up here to your account, this information, the address that you use, will be pulled in for each list. You can change this for each list as well. If you're a publishing company or you've got multiple pen names with different actual physical addresses, you might want to change this for each list you're sending from so that you can be sure you're adhering to any email laws like the CAN-SPAM Act or the GDPR in the UK, or the European Union, I should say. Finally, you can change, if you're another type of industry besides an author or something like that, you can change all those things here. And then if you want to use Author Email's sign-up form that's going to be created automatically, you may want to enable the reCAPTCHA, which is Google's version 3 reCAPTCHA software. This is the check a box to make sure you're a human. And then when you save changes, you can stay on the same page to keep editing here, or you can go back to your lists. So we'll go back and you'll see we've created 2 lists called test. Probably don't want both of them. So if you want to delete one, just press delete. It will give you a scary notice that is just reminding you that your information will be deleted. Thankfully, we don't really have anything here, so I'm okay with that. And then if you don't want a list to show up in this, maybe you've got too many lists already, you can actually archive a list, which is a safer way than deleting. It shows your list. If you go to all lists, it'll show everything that's not archived. So right now we don't have any lists because the one list I created was deleted and the other one is archived. And in order to see those archive lists, you just click on archive lists. And from that page, you can easily just unarchive it and put it back to the main list page.